Hello and welcome to episode 46 of Raw and Score Trivia, the trivia podcast where you don't need a pen and paper, just raw out your answer and keep track of your score somehow. But don't you dare use a pen and paper. Kidding, you can use one if you want, just not if you're driving. I am the Quizzard, a magical being bred and trained specifically to read the highest quality trivia questions known to man, and to come up with the most mediocre jokes and puns possible to go along with them. Now, as a certified trivia wizard, I've spent years mastering the ancient and mysterious art of question conjuration. It's pretty tough. You'd be surprised how many times I've tried to summon a perfectly crafted question about geography and instead ended up with a slightly annoyed goose in my kitchen. Luckily, goose is delicious. In Raw and Score Trivia, we score out of a total 35 points, with 20 questions worth a point each in the question round, a stupidly hard question, which is worth 5 points, a bonus round after the hard question, which is worth another 5 points, and a game that we play throughout the question round, which is worth 5 points as well. The game we're playing throughout today is called Alliterated Answers. This one's pretty simple. All you have to do is count how many answers start with a particular letter. If you're correct, you get 5 points. It doesn't matter if it's someone's name, the name of a movie, a number. If it starts with that letter, it counts. Also, importantly, the words a and or the do not count in this game. So if it was a ball, it would be the letter B, not the letter A. Today, the letter we're counting is the letter S for snake. So don't forget to count how many answers start with the letter S for snake in the question round, which is starting now. Question 1. In a leap year, which month gains an extra day? February. I'm legitimately jealous of people whose birthday is the 29th of Feb, and I think about it a lot. You would have such a mad party every 4 years. Question 2. What are the top 2 most commonly played instruments in the world? It is guitar and piano. I wanted this question to be what is the most played instrument, but 50% of my research said the guitar and 50% said the piano, so stuff it. Question 3. What do you call the process of cells dividing? That is mitosis. Question 4. What is the capital city of Iraq? Baghdad. Question 5. What is 5% of 350? Well, 10% is 35. Divide that by 2, 17.5. Question 6. Which actor married actress Lauren Hashian in 2019 after a long relationship? Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. Question 7. What does a logophile enjoy? A logophile. No, they don't enjoy the company of logs a little bit too much. A logophile is a lover of words. Question 8. What is the name of the White Stripes album that features the song Seven Nation Army? Elephant. What a bloody album. Question 9. What 3 ingredients make up a standard margarita? It is tequila, lime juice, triple sec. Truly the god of cocktails. Who has ever had a bad marg? Question 10. On which continent would you find the country South Korea? Asia. Question 11. What is the fastest bird on the planet? It is a peregrine falcon. If you just said falcon, you can have half a point because knowing the word peregrine has to be worth something. Question 12. In Canberra, Australia, what tower sits atop Black Mountain? Telstra Tower. It also used to be called Black Mountain Tower and Telecom Tower, so if you said either of them, you can have it. Question 13. How many curved stripes appear in the Spotify logo? Three. I really want a feature in Spotify where it actually just shuffles your song instead of thinking it knows what you want to listen to and then playing the same 3 stupid artists over and over again until you're sick of your favourite bands. Sorry, I missed my iPod Shuffle. Question 14. What is the name of the main character in the God of War video game series? Kratos. I'm an Xbox boy, so I've never been able to play this. I'm still waiting for our team to get a good exclusive. High on Life was about the best we got. Question 15. What is it called when the moon travels between the Earth and the Sun, blocking the Sun in some areas of Earth? That's called a solar eclipse. Question 16. In baseball, what would you call it if a pitcher allows no hits, walks, or base runners in a game? A perfect game. Question 17. The 2 orientations of a document on Microsoft Word are portrait and which other? Landscape. Question 18. Are human beings invertebrates or vertebrates? We have backbones, so we're vertebrates. Question 19. What was the name of the movement led by Martin Luther King Jr.? The Civil Rights Movement. Question 20. In which country did the dance the tango originate? Argentina, but it was very close to the Uruguay border, and some argue that it started there. So if you said that, you can have it. Alright, question round over, but did you remember to play alliterated answers? We were counting how many answers started with the letter S. Lock in your answer now. The answer was 2. The answers were solar eclipse and 17.5. And before you send me an angry message on Instagram, yes, I did specifically say that numbers count at the start of this episode. Coming up, we have the unbelievably stupidly hard trivia question and the bonus round for the episode. This week, the bonus round is What Am I?, which is like Who Am I?, but you're guessing an object. I'll see you in a second for that. We're back, and it's time for the trivia question known to send 10% of all people who hear it deaf. The really hard trivia question. Okay, if you're not deaf, I have a really hard question for you. You get 5 points if you can get this one right. Here it is. Kelvin is a scale of measuring temperature often used by scientists. If it is 28 degrees Celsius, what would the temperature be in Kelvin to the nearest degree? Anyone got their thermometer outside, tuned to Kelvin? 5 more seconds to lock in your answer. The answer is 301 degrees Kelvin. If it was 28 degrees Celsius, it would be 301 degrees Kelvin. Give yourself 5 points if you got that right. Moving straight along, we have the bonus round for this episode. This week, the bonus round is What Am I? This game is just like Who Am I?, but in this one, we're guessing an object instead of a person. I'm going to give you 5 clues, the first one being pretty difficult and the last one being pretty easy. If you can guess what I am in the first clue, you get 5 points. If you guess what I am in the second clue, 4 points, then 3, 2, and 1 point for the last clue. You can guess each clue that I give you, so don't feel like you have to hold on to your guesses if you're not sure, but you do only get one guess per clue, so don't machine gun out guesses at me a million miles a second. Okay, I think that's all I need to explain. Guess what I am. What am I? Starting now. Clue 1 for 5 points. Historians believe a popular object, was invented around the 14th century, first being made entirely of wood, with other materials being added and changed through this object's long history. So if you can guess what I am here, 5 points. Clue 2 for 4 points. I am held in your hand when used, and millions of me are sold each year. Today, I contain materials such as graphite, carbon fibre, nylon, and even cow intestines. Clue 3 for 3 points. I was usually made out of wood until René Lacoste patented a metal version of me in 1957, but metal versions of me were not popular until the 1970s. You would be pretty likely to find me at Arthur Ashe Stadium, being held by Alexei Popyrin or Marcos Giron. Clue 4 for 2 points. I am used as an integral piece of equipment for a specific sport. I would usually have a grip tape on my handle and strings on my head. Last clue for 1 point. The sport I am needed for is tennis, and I am held in the hand to strike the ball. What am I? I am, of course, a tennis racket, and yes, I did write this segment while watching the Australian Open. I'm telling you, whatever's on my TV is what gets written down. Don't forget, if you send me a message on Instagram or Facebook with your name and score, I'll give you a shout out at the end of a show. This week I've heard from Laura and Robbie, who scored 25 points together. The Tarawood Propagators scored another 26. Say what you want about the Tarawood Propagators, but you can't deny they're consistent. Rick scored a 22 and Jane scored an 18. Thanks for listening. Thanks for sending in your scores. I'll be back on Monday with another episode. Bye-bye.